Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Capital Area School Development Association Virtual College Fair. We are very excited to have you participating in this event with us. We have some fantastic schools here today to speak with you. My name is Clarissa, and I will be your facilitator this evening. Before we get started, there are a few housekeeping items to be aware of. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You also have a Q&A button on your screen to ask questions to our presenters at any time during the session. If you do have a question for a specific school, be sure to mention them within your question. This is also one of many sessions happening this evening and over the next few days, so definitely go out to the schedule and see what else might be available. And lastly, the session is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/CASDA New York. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first school, which is SUNY Farmingdale.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I am going to share my screen here. All right, so welcome everyone. Very nice to meet you virtually. My name is Raymond Weber. I'm an admissions representative with Farmingdale State College. Those that don't know, Farmingdale State College is the oldest public college on Long Island. We were founded all the way back in 1912 as a New York State School of Agriculture. We've grown a lot since then. So we now have 10,000 students on campus. Don't let that number scare you. Your average class size is only going to be around 23 students. We are not one of those schools that allows for large lecture halls. So your largest lecture hall on campus might have 50 to 60 students. If you do have that size class, you're likely only to have a few of those courses in your 4 years here. We are the largest applied science and technology college within the entire SUNY system out of 64 campuses. We're also only an hour out from New York City. We are on Long Island. A lot of our students do choose to commute. They're coming from Suffolk, Nassau, or the 5 boroughs. You are allowed to have a car on campus, and plenty of our students also choose to take in public transportation. I'm briefly going to go through some of our programs. I have broken it down by field. So these are some programs within art and design, true to our foundation in agriculture. We do have a few horticultural options at Farmingdale, both associate and bachelor's level options. We also have a fantastic digital communications program that has a focus in graphic design. So if you're ever on campus, feel free to stop by Memorial Gallery. They have a beautiful exhibition there. And our graphic design students do tend to go on and work with big name industries like Amazon, Nike, and Disney, just to name a few. Moving on to business, that is our School of Business there in the middle picture. Business management amongst 10,000 students is actually the most popular at FSC because there are so many different things you could do with it. You'll have a concentration in accounting, marketing, sport management, or global management. You can also have a major in global management or sport management, which are both in need. Sport management also heavily internship based. We have a lot of connections with local teams like the Long Island Ducks. We also have some connections with the Barclay Center and Madison Square Garden. Moving on to our computer programs, we have something for everyone. So this is a great field to get into, very much in need, also pays pretty well. Computer engineering is for students that want to work on the hardware aspect of computers, computer programming for the software aspect and design. We also do have computer science at FSC. This is rigorous with math, so it will require pre-calc. If you have any questions, you could let me know afterward. We also have computer security technology. You will hear me say this time and time again, do not get caught up in titles. It will only hinder you. A lot of other schools will refer to this program as cybersecurity. So again, we don't get caught up in titles. They are the same thing, and different schools will refer to the same program as something different quite often. Moving on to criminal justice, also quite popular. We have associate's and bachelor's levels degrees. Criminal justice law enforcement technologies, otherwise known as forensic technology for any of my students that are interested in forensics. We also have police courts and corrections, which is more of a vague degree. So this works for a variety of different students. Maybe you want to join the police force at any governmental level. Maybe you want to work on policy, or maybe you want to work on victim advocacy. Maybe you want to be a lawyer or a social worker. Police courts and corrections is a great stepping stone for you to continue on in that field. You'll see a lot of different engineering programs here. We are in a School of Engineering Technology. To put it simply, an engineer, they're known for innovation, while an engineering technologist, they take that innovation and they implement it into real world practice. But if you speak with employers, they're hiring both engineers and engineering technicians for the same position. They make the same amount of money. Believe it or not, we are one of the top 5 schools in the nation for producing engineering technicians. We're also one of the top 5 schools in the nation for producing women in engineering technology. So go down that list, you'll find a few different other things like professional pilot. We're the only school in the Northeast to have a 4-year professional pilot program. We also have that aviation administration degree for students that are looking for something to fall back on. We're very well known for health and wellness over at FSC. We have one of the best dental hygiene programs in the country, one of the best nursing programs in the state, and we also have a variety of options. Bioscience is known as your pre-med option, if you will, but is that your only option? Absolutely not. I know students that are graduating from applied psychology or applied gerontology or nutrition science, and they're going on to med school. So you'll work with an advisor to figure out what your goals are. A lot of students are confused as to what applied gerontology is. This field is booming thanks to boomers. So there's an incredible need for this. If you know that you want to work on a geriatric floor in a hospital, or you know that you want to work in an assisted living center, the fact that you have applied gerontology on your degree just makes you more competitive in the workforce. So we do not have an undecided major, but this is a good recommendation for anyone here tonight. Liberal arts and sciences is a great starting point for anyone, right? It's not necessarily going to hinder you. It's not going to prolong your time as a college student. This is our least competitive program. It only requires an overall 80 high school GPA, and that's going to give you an opportunity to get your foot in the door, work with your advisor. Maybe you want to graduate with this degree, or maybe you want to use this as a stepping stone to eventually change your major to another program. Close to 90% of our students are employed within 6 months of graduation. Yes, we have great programs. Yes, they are hard workers, but we also have a wide array of student support services on campus that help our students get to that point. So we have academic advising for all of our majors. We have disability services, campus mental health services, a variety of tutoring centers on campus. Huge kudos to the Nexus Center for Career Development. They are the ones to host internship opportunities, job opportunities. They have workshops on a weekly basis that cover resume writing and cover letter writing. So they are a huge assistance to our students. We do have a thriving student life over at FSC. We have around 600 students living on campus, and we have over 70 clubs and organizations based in different things: academics, religious, social awareness. We have a very well-known esports team. I believe they just won a national championship in Super Smash Bros. We also have thriving Greek life on campus. We have 5 fraternities and 4 sororities that are all heavily based in community service. We do have 9 men's teams, 9 women's teams. We are Division III NCAA, and we also have close to 30 intramural teams. I already mentioned our general admissions requirement is around an 85, our more competitive programs at a 90, and our less competitive programs at an overall 80 overall GPA. So this here is our contact information. Thank you all so much for your time tonight. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw those into the chat box.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Up next, we have University at Albany, part of the SUNY system.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Give me 1 second to set this up. Can everybody see this? Hopefully you all can. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Loreli Escobar, and I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor at the University at Albany. Thank you for joining us tonight. The University at Albany is a comprehensive Research One institution. We're actually one of just 131 Research One institutions in the country. So we have state-of-the-art facilities and renowned faculty from all over the world conducting research right on our campus. And you have the opportunity to partake in that research as early as your freshman year of college across multiple disciplines. We are a mid-sized school. So about 13,000 undergraduate students and about 4,000 graduate or PhD students. So you are able to get more than one degree at the university should you wish to do so. The University at Albany is comprised of 9 different schools and colleges, and these are the 9 schools and colleges that make up UAlbany. Many students always ask, Ms. Escobar, what are you really well known for? Well, we're known for many of our majors, specifically anything in the STEM fields: business, accounting, psychology, social welfare, criminal justice, public policy, public health, education, and our newest program, College of Emergency Preparedness, Homeland Security, and Cybersecurity. They've generated a lot of interest amongst our students. Being in the capital of New York, we are the hub of almost any single industry that students are trying to pursue. So we do have a lot of internship, job opportunities, research opportunity, and volunteer opportunities to complement any of these academic fields. Specifically, if you are looking to pursue anything in criminal justice, political science, law, homeland security, cybersecurity, this is a lucrative place to be. Albany, New York is the epicenter of government and politics. We do hold the 3rd largest seat of government in the United States, and we do have great internship opportunities and connections with the Senate, the Assembly, as well as a semester internship in Washington, D.C. Our students typically, many students are always concerned, oh, what if, I'm not sure what I want to pursue? totally okay. When you are applying into Albany, you can apply with an intended major in mind, whether, that's a psychology, criminal justice, business, or you can apply as an undecided, undeclared student. We are reviewing our student population for the university itself. Typically, our students do not declare a major until the end of their second year of college. So we really do give you 2 years to take courses in whatever it is that piques your interest, while simultaneously completing your general education requirements that all students need to take regardless of their majors. And then at the end of their second year, that is when you declare, and more or less you have a better understanding of what it is that you want to pursue based upon the courses that you've taken. And you will have an academic advisor from the minute you are admitted into the university to assist you in choosing all of these different courses that pique your interest the most. So by the end of your second year, you know more or less what it is that you want to pursue. As I mentioned, we are a research institution, and please note that research isn't necessarily in the hard sciences like biology and chemistry. They could really go across any of the disciplines, whether that's in history, in business, in psychology, in the soft sciences, so on and so forth. So you will have an array of availabilities for you to partake in such an opportunity should you wish to do so. The university also offers pre-professional programs. So pre-professional programs or tracks, these are for our students in case they want to pursue any of these types of fields upon graduation from Albany. You'll be able to follow any of these tracks while an undergraduate student to ensure that you are completing all of the prerequisite courses that you need to apply to any of these types of schools upon graduation from Albany. So if you want to, so you'll be working with advisors in pre-law, pre-med, pre-health, so on and so forth to ensure that you are meeting those requirements. Additionally, we do have collaboration with other institutions where you can complete your bachelor's degree with us and then either apply early or do a combined 3+3 program with some of these collaborative institutions in order to get more than one degree by the time that you finish your education. So for example, let's say with law, we have a 3+3 program with Albany Law School that students can apply into. For pharmacy, we have a collaboration with Albany Pharmacy, and it's a 3+4 program. For medicine, we have a collaboration with SUNY Upstate Medical. It's a guaranteed entrance program. It's a combined BSMD program. And we also have an early assurance program with Albany Medical College. And that's just to name a few. But the beauty about these collaborations is that it enables the student to kind of have a seamless process from undergraduate to their postgraduate careers. One of the things that we fully take advantage of, and one of the many reasons why I attended Albany myself, was because of our location. We are located in New York State's capital, and as I mentioned, it is the hub of almost any single industry that students are trying to pursue. We were actually ranked in one of the best places in the country to live, especially as undergraduate and graduate students, particularly because of all of the job and internship availabilities that we have to offer our students. So we actually team you up with our Career and Professional Development Office as early as your freshman year of college. So you spend your 4 years at the university building up your resume. So by the time you graduate, you have extensive history in the work field and you'll be a viable candidate in whatever industry it is that you're trying to pursue. Again, we are also the epicenter of government and politics. So any fields related to that, or if you just want to dabble into that particular sector, this is a great place to be. As I mentioned, we hold the 3rd largest seat of government in the US. So lots of opportunities with the Senate, the Assembly, as well as Washington, DC. If for students who want to apply, you can apply via the Common App or the SUNY app, no preference in which one you choose, as long as you submit one of the two. 50% of the student body who we admit, their GPA ranges anywhere from about an 89 to about a 95 or above. We are test optional, so no need to submit SATs or ACTs, and we'll be reviewing you based upon other components of the application that does not necessarily include your test scores. We do have an early action deadline of November 15th and a deposit deadline of May 1st. And should you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us. The email I will actually put in the chat. The general email would be ugadmissions@albany.edu. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us this evening. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out.
Thank you for that presentation. Up next, we have SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Sean Corbis, and I'm an admissions assistant here at SUNY ESF. I look forward to being able to share with you guys a little bit more about what I know about ESF. Basically, ESF is a very, very unique institution in that pretty much everything we do is centered around applications in the STEM field towards our natural resources and our environment. ESF is the premier college in the United States for the study of these areas, so science, design, engineering, policy, communication, and management. These areas you'll see are what guide our studies at our college. So basically, ESF, we're located in Syracuse, New York. Our main campus is located right next to Syracuse University. And in that, we share a very special relationship with Syracuse University. Our students can even take limited coursework next door at Syracuse University, as well as use any of Syracuse's extracurricular facilities, such as their gymnasiums, joining any student clubs or organizations, or even getting season tickets to sporting events like Syracuse basketball. But the Syracuse connection is just a small part of what makes ESF a super unique college. As you can see, we have multiple campuses. Our main campus in Syracuse is very small, and it's where we house all of our bachelor degree programs. However, we have a Ranger School campus in a town called Wanakena, New York, where we own a 2,800 acre tract of land, and our students learn directly from the land every single day. Another incredible aspect outside of the Ranger School is that we own multitudes of forest land across New York State, totaling over 25,000 acres. And one piece of land I like to highlight especially is that the college actually owns its own island in the St. Lawrence River up in the Thousand Islands, where our students do research and our faculty do research on aquatic ecology. So academics at ESF, like I said, boils down to some focused STEM fields with relations towards the environment. So in terms of science, we have, a traditional major in environmental science, or we have multiple degrees in biology, everything from environmental biology, which would be a good baseline degree for anyone that want to become a lab biologist, a field biologist, even study pre-med, to unique programs in biology like wildlife science and conservation biology. We have one design program on our campus in landscape architecture. Landscape architecture is all about our built environment that we have. Anywhere humans are, humans impact their world. And part of that is the design of buildings, the design of roadways, the design of pedestrian friendly infrastructure. And a lot of that can be designed and changed to better ourselves and our environment around us. That's what landscape architects do. As far as engineering is concerned, we have one major environmental resources engineering that's almost like a combined civil engineering program with an environmental science program. And then we have three different chemical engineering majors. We have a chemical engineering major, a paper engineering major, and a bioprocess engineering major. One unique thing about our chemical engineering programs is that if you take a minimum credit hour requirement in paper science related coursework, you can actually get a full tuition scholarship by the Syracuse Pulp and Paper Foundation for your education at ESF. Also, another thing, paper engineers are on average our highest paid graduates with starting salaries around $75,000 per year. Outside of our core applied science programs, ESF actually does have a few social science programs. Our social science programs come in the form of environmental studies and environmental education and interpretation. These are going to be majors great for students who don't want that calculus 2 math requirement or beyond, but students that want to be able to study science and study the environment and be able to effectively communicate their findings to a more general population. Largely, the biggest disconnect we see today in the understanding of the problems of our world is really the communication of scientific finding by scientists to our general public. Our policy and communications majors hone in on being able to effectively communicate hard science to a population that isn't colloquially trained for that. Additionally, we have management programs at ESF, and our management programs can be especially rewarding in terms of career outcomes. Our management programs at ESF are designed to get students into roles such as project manager upon graduation. The Forest Resources Management actually was just ranked the #1 forestry program in the US as well. Student life at ESF, like I said, is a combination of things between ESF and Syracuse University. So your involvement really is not limited to ESF. It's pretty much anything that both universities can offer you. If you have more questions, I really would encourage you to reach out to our office. Additionally, I think anyone, at least the slightest interested in ESF, should come visit, because really we have a unique campus and unique facilities and a unique community as a result. Thank you for your time, and I hope if you want to learn more, you'll reach out.
Thank you very much for your presentation. As a reminder to our participants, if anyone has any questions for the institutions you are hearing from today, definitely don't hesitate to put those in the Q&A down below. Up next, Fordham University.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Dan McDermott. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admission at Fordham. I've been there for 12 years now. I'm been working in the Albany region for probably 8 or 9 of those years. So give me 1 second and I will share my screen with you. And we'll get started. So we are the Jesuit University of New York, and that captures 3 elements of who we really are. Jesuit, that we are a university, and that we are right in the middle of New York. So we're going to break that down a little bit right now. So New York, we want our students to be right in the middle of the city. Our students often say, Fordham is my school, but New York is my campus. So they are engaged in and of the city. A lot of schools you may go to, you have internships in the summer or during your breaks that you do. Fordham, our students build it into their weekly schedule. They're right in the heart of the city, the business capital, the media capital of the world. They're all in and of the city and all about the city year round. So they have plenty of unique internship experiences. And New York is really an extension of the classrooms. It's a heart of the country and a global hub of innovation. You may take an art history class somewhere else and have to look on a screen to see works of art. But oftentimes our professor will be like, you know what, next week we're going to MoMA to look at these works of art, or to go to the New York Historical Society and do something. So oftentimes New York becomes part of the classroom experience, and our students really embrace that. I do want to point out that we have 2 campuses. We have our Rose Hill campus in the Bronx, the Lincoln Center campus in Manhattan. You're going to get the same great Jesuit education at either one. I always say, visit, walk around, feel out which one feels right for you. The Rose Hill campus is 85 acres, much more of a traditional looking campus. When a student kind of wants that traditional experience, and then to be able to pop into the city on the weekends or for their internship. The Lincoln Center campus is for that student who wants New York. They're like, if I'm coming to New York, I want to be in New York. It's an 8-acre enclosed super campus, a block away from Central Park and Columbus Circle, and across the street from Lincoln Center Performing Arts. So 2 great locations in the Big Apple, but depending on what kind of living environment you want, you may choose Rose Hill or Lincoln Center. And we'll get into that. Within that, we have 3 different colleges here. So first you're going to choose which campus you want, the Bronx or the Manhattan campus, and then you're going to look at what you want to study, right? So we have Fordham College Rose Hill, which is for liberal arts and science students, Fordham College at Lincoln Center, which is for liberal arts and science students in Manhattan. And then we have our Gabelli School of Business, which is available at each campus. The lion's share of the business students are in the Bronx campus. We have about 2,500 undergrads in the business school up there. And we have a smaller niche program, Manhattan campus, that is a global business major. So when you apply, you're going to choose which campus and then which college within the university, and you apply directly for admission into one of those buckets there. We offer over 70 majors and minors, but we do have plenty of students that come in undecided at that time. We have student research that they can do. It's not just labs. There's a variety of different research opportunities that students can participate in as funded student research participants. Plenty of our students engage in internships during their time with us. Over 80% have completed at least one internship by the time they graduate with us. And we're one of the biggest proponents of sending students abroad. As you can see, 47% study abroad. We are in the top 25 in the nation in terms of students we send abroad every year. We have 3 standalone programs, which are just Fordham faculty and students, and those are in London, which is our biggest one, Pretoria, South Africa, and Granada, Spain. But we also have plenty of other stops that we'll do jointly with other universities. So pretty much anywhere you want to go in the world, we can help get you there. But Fordham students kind of want that experience, right? And not just the excitement of New York. And sometimes New York can seem like traveling to a foreign country, depending on where you're coming from, but they want to be out and about and see the world. So we'll have their back there. While you're on campus, there are over 220 different clubs and organizations that are available between the 2 campuses. So plenty of activity on campus within our gates, but when you leave our gates, you're in the most exciting city in the world. So there's plenty of off-campus activities, like going to Broadway shows. A lot of our cultural clubs will have specific dining out activities where they'll go to different restaurants. It's sponsored by that club, so you get a delicious meal in New York City for like $5. So there's lots of opportunities to hit the city and make New York your home. We are Division I. We have 21 different sports. We participate in the Atlantic 10 and everything but football. Football, we are in the Patriot League, and we participate in the football championship series with that. But if you love playing sports and you're not a D1 level player, we still have plenty of club and intramural opportunities for students to participate in that too. And then when we say we are a Jesuit school, we have a lot to do there with 30 things, Cura Personalis, Magis, and Hominis Parolis. So we care about the individual and want them to be treated as a whole person. So thank you for your time. And hopefully one day you'll be able to join some of our famous alumni there.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Up next, we have Hobart and William Smith Colleges.
Hi guys, my name is Kendra Costin. I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Admissions with Hobart and William Smith. I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about our campus first, and then I will share my screen. Just so that you are aware, Hobart is a small private liberal arts college right on Seneca Lake, located in upstate New York. So we're right along the Finger Lakes region, and we are quite literally on the lake. So I will share my screen so you can see that. Looks like I have a whole bunch of screens open. So hold on 1 second. There we go. All right. Becomes very challenging over Zoom. All right, so here is an awesome view of our campus. You'll see Seneca Lake. It's the second largest of the Finger Lakes. We sit right on that. So for those who like water sports and things like that, we are your place to be. We're going to touch on some three key elements: what life is like at Hobart, what life is like around Hobart, and helping you make decisions after HWS. So even though you might not be thinking about that, we are thinking about that for you. Something to note is that we are a pretty small college. We have around 1,800 students on campus. That's going to be about 400 to 500 students per grade, and that's going to lend to about 16 students in a class. We're really well known for mentorship and special professor student relationships. You're really going to get that here. You're going to get an individualized education, and more so, you're going to be able to curate your schedule based on your interests instead of having them fulfill certain requirements. So we will get into that. And our professors are number 9 in the nation, which is pretty awesome. So we follow something called the 8 goals. Sometimes liberal arts schools might have you fulfill gen ed or general education requirements. We go by something called the 8 goals, which is developed by our faculty and staff to kind of have this really special skill set, sort of transferable skills for when you graduate college and how we think that you can be successful. Things like having effective communication skills, critical thinking, social awareness, things like that. So instead of taking a class because you need to certify or you need to fulfill a mathematics requirement, you're fulfilling one of the goals by taking one of the classes that you're interested in that just so happen to organically fulfill that. Community is huge with us, service is especially, but before we get into that, one of our centers is study abroad, global excellence, and we have about 60% of our student body participating in study abroad. Just as one of the institutions said before me, we also do have faculty-led programs, which lends real, I would say, easy access when you are studying abroad. You're able to really discover the city and the country that you're in, because you have that kind of the ability to learn from the professors that you already know, which is awesome. This is sort of a visual of some of the countries that we go to, and the list is ever changing. We are ranked number 2 for community service in colleges. This is something that's huge for us in Geneva, because Geneva is a small country. There is a Geneva country. Because Geneva is such a small town, and students quite literally, you are part of the community. We really do like to honor that. So students will start off with a first day of service when they enter and during their orientation process. We have a whole bunch of athletics. For the most part, we are D3, however, with the one caveat of being Division 1 with lacrosse, for men's lacrosse. We are adding some sports as we speak. We just added esports this year, which is pretty cool. And we're in the process of adding swimming and diving for men, alpine skiing, I've got my list right here, volleyball for men and women, and then later on, track and field. We are also great with connecting you with internships. So the first place that we like to take you on campus when you visit is someplace called Trinity Hall. That's where we have our career development services there. If you go through our program called Pathways, that's going to help you prepare for a job, internship, interviews, and such as that, preparing you with building a resume and a cover letter. You go through that program, we guarantee you an internship in your field during your time at HWS. We also guarantee you that is paid. So whether that's paid by the company that you are interning at, or if it is underpaid, we will provide a stipend for you, which is awesome if you're out of state, especially if you want to live on campus. And then some facts just about the admissions process. We are also a test optional school. We have been for 15 years, so that's nothing new to us. You have a few options there. You can provide your test scores, you cannot provide your test scores, or you can allow the admissions team to decide whether to admit the test scores or not, if that's going to help. We have a whole bunch of merit scholarship options, as well as need-based aid, which I would love to send to you. But Clarissa's coming up, so it looks like we're almost out of time. And I'm going to stop my share, but I'm also going to share with you a link If you don't mind clicking on that, if you would like more information from us, that will help me connect with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Our final institution for this session is Clarkson University.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I am going to get my presentation going here. Okay, thank you again for attending, everyone. My name's Kim. I'm Associate Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Clarkson University. We are located in Potsdam, New York, which is on the northern border of New York, so about 30 minutes from Canada. This is a photo of our campus. It makes it look a little bit bigger than it is. We have a little over 3,000 students, so we are on the smaller side when it comes to universities. Our freshman class is usually around 750, and our average class size is around 30 to 40 students. We are in a small town, but we're in the same town as SUNY Potsdam and 10 minutes from SUNY Canton and St. Lawrence University. So we are in a really great college town, a lot of things to do right on campus, but just within the general area. We're just outside the Adirondacks as well, so that gives students a lot of opportunities to get outdoors, to go skiing, hiking. We also offer an Adirondack semester where you can live in the Adirondacks for a semester, take classes, and do research right in the thick of the Adirondacks. So our main area of study is the School of Engineering. This is about 50 to 60% of our student body. We do have 8 different engineering majors, then a lot of minors and concentrations as well. So if you're undecided within engineering as well, if you're not sure what path you do want to take, we do have an engineering studies program, so you can come in and get a feel for all of the different areas that we do offer and then decide by the middle of your sophomore years. So you're still on track to graduate within the 4 years. And then we do have the School of Business. This encompasses about a quarter of our student body. So it's still a very large amount of our students that are pursuing a degree in business. So we do have several business majors. We also have engineering and management. So if you're interested in engineering, but you also really enjoy business and working with people, that combines both worlds. So it's a little bit unique. We start out all of our business students in just business studies, which comparable to the engineering studies program. But we just do that with all the business majors, just to give you a feel for all the different business majors that we offer. Same thing, you decide by the middle of your sophomore year which you want to pursue. We do require all of our freshman business majors start their own business. So you really jump into it your first year. It's kind of like Shark Tank if you ever watch that show on TV. So it's pretty neat. We also have a School of Arts and Sciences, which encompasses your hard sciences like bio, chemistry, physics, computer science, math majors, things along those lines. So a lot of research opportunities with this. Clarkson was ranked one of New York State's top research universities as well. So it's pretty easy to get research opportunities if you want by just talking to your professor or advisor. They'll never tell you no on Clarkson's campus. They're dying for students to want to do more research. So you can definitely do that. And then also under the School of Arts and Sciences is more of our arts majors, kind of more like liberal arts programs. We do offer communications, digital arts and sciences, which is like our animation and game design major, history, humanities, political science, and social documentation. So a few different areas. A lot of students in the arts and sciences tend to double major in some of these areas because there's a lot of overlap. So you can really pick things up along the way. We also offer several pre-health advising programs. We have pre-med, pre-dental, and pre-vet. We do have some direct entry programs on campus for our physical therapy, occupational therapy, and physician's assistant programs. So if you are accepted as a freshman, they save you a spot for those programs to either get your master's or doctorate. We do require all of our students in all majors complete a professional experience, which can be an internship, a co-op, or research with a professor. We have a couple of career fairs every year where employers come recruit. So that's how most students will find them, is by going to the career fair right on our campus. They're stuffed into every nook and cranny of campus, so there is a lot that come. We do have a 97% placement rate. A lot of the companies that you intern through or do a co-op through generally will offer students a permanent position. We also offer study abroad. Our business majors are required to study abroad to get the international experience, but it is open to all students. And we do have 28 countries that we have partner schools with. So you're taking the same classes that you would need at those schools that you would also need at Clarkson. A little bit about our campus for clubs and activities. We are a small school, but a very active campus. We have a little over 200 clubs and organizations, I think maybe about 250 now. So there is Greek life, academic related clubs, club sports, intramurals. We also have speed teams, which are engineering projects. They're very popular, but open to all majors, not just engineering. And then we are, like I mentioned earlier, very close to the Canadian border, which is open now. So very easy to go across campus and go to a major city for a day. Ottawa is the capital of Canada, so a really cool place to visit, as well as Montreal. A lot of the clubs will take trips there for different sightseeing options and events and things along those lines. Also, we are a 4-year residential campus, which means we do guarantee housing all 4 years. You can move off campus after your freshman year, but most students do stay on campus because there is a spot and it's pretty convenient. You just walk out your door and you're at the lab or the gym or the library, whatever you need to go to. So it's definitely convenient. For athletics, we do have Division I men's and women's hockey. And then we do have Division III for all of our other sports. So a few listed here, but there are several different athletic teams. And then, as I mentioned before, a lot of club and intramural sports as well. If you want to stay active, but maybe not play at the division level, there's a lot of options when it comes to that. For the application, we just require your high school transcript and 2 letters of recommendation. We are SAT and ACT optional for students applying for 2022. If you did take the SAT, the average is about a 1280, and our average GPA is around like a 92, 94. We are on the Common App, and we also have our own Clarkson application. And if you have any other questions, this is my email. I'm the representative for the Capital District area, so please feel free to reach out if you have any other questions outside of my quick presentation. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for sharing more information with your respective institutions. We have come to the end of our programming, so I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you could provide to us. We also encourage you to go back and check the schedule. There's another session up next, as well as 2 more days worth as well. You'll also be able to find the session's recording as well as any other sessions at strivescan.com/CASDANY. Again, thank you for joining us and have a great evening.